Hello, we're going to start working on K.N.1.1 to count aloud forward and sequence to 100 by ones and tens. Can you count to 100? Try right now and see how far you get. Pause the video. If you can't count to 100, you need to practice that every day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way to 100. You have to practice every day. We got to know how to count to 100 in kindergarten. So the very first thing we're going to do is count to 10 by ones. Okay, so I'm going to go over it with my cursor. You can touch it. You can touch your screen. Touch your finger to the screen and touch the number and say it. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's counting by ones. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to count to tens by ones by writing them down. So you need to get a whiteboard or a piece of paper if you don't have a whiteboard, and you're going to write your numbers. So write the number 1 down. Write the number 2. What comes after 2? 3. Write that down. What comes after 3? 4. Write that down. 5, 6. What comes after 6? Did you say 7? And then after 7 is 8. After 8 is 9. And then we have 10. So if you need to pause the video to write those numbers down, click pause and write those numbers down on your whiteboard or on your paper right now, okay? Do the same thing, but we're going to count to 20 this time. So you can touch your screen and say it. Touch it, touch each number and say the number, and I'll do it with the cursor, okay? You ready? Let's start. 1, 2, make sure you touch it and say it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now I want you to pause the video, and I want you to do it again. I want you to touch the number and say the number out loud without me helping you. But you need to pause the video to do it, okay? So to give that a try right now. So have your whiteboard out. If you don't have a whiteboard, have your paper, and you're going to write the missing number, all right? Okay, so we have 1. What comes after 1? Did you say 2? Write 2 down. I'll write it down here. 2. And then we have the number 3. What's after 3? Write it down. Write it down. 4. Did you say 4? Then we have 5, 6. What number do you need to write down after 6? 7. And then after 7, you need to write down the number what? Write it down. 8. And then after 8, we have 9. And then write this number down. What's after 9? Can you write it? 1, 0 makes 10. And we have 11, 12. Write this number down. What comes after 12? This one's getting harder, isn't it? It's getting harder. 1, 3 for 13. If you didn't get that one correct, that's okay. Just copy mine. 1, 3. Now what's after 13? Starts with a 1. What's after 13? 14. What's after 15? Write it down. 15, 16. Write this one down. What comes after 16? We're getting bigger. Write it down. Write it on your whiteboard, on your piece of paper. 1, 7 makes 17. Then we have 18. Write the next number down. What do you think this one is? What comes between 18 and 20? 1, 9. Yeah, so you should have 2, 4, 7, 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 17, and 19 written down. Okay. Now we're going to count by tens. Do you know how to count by tens? It's a little harder to do. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So if you look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we just added a 0 to the end of those numbers. So if you forget, just count like regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add a 0 to it and think what that number is. Okay, so I want you to try it again. Say it with me. Point to them as we say them aloud. Say it with me. 10, what's this one? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Counting by tens is a lot harder, so you might have to practice this. So pause the video, and I want you to say these again. Touch each number and say it without me this time. So pause the video and try doing that. We're going to count by tens this time. So write this number down. Write 10, write 20. What comes after that? Remember, we go 1, 2, did you say 30? 3, we do 3 with a 0. Right, 30. Then what do we have? 40. What comes after 40? Remember, we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put a 0. 60, write 60 down. 70, 80, and then what comes next? Remember, with 6, 7, 8. What comes after 8? 9, and then when we skip count by tens, we put a 0, and then we have 100. So pause the video and write all these numbers down either on your whiteboard or on your paper. Practice writing by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So pause the video and make sure you have all those numbers written down. For our guided practice, you'll have some independent practice this week, and we'll have some songs to sing to help us remember counting and skip counting to 100. So we'll have a lot of practice this week. So if you can't skip count to 100, all you need to do is practice every day. If you can't count to 100, you need to practice every day. You need to be able to say it in order and write it down. So make sure you can say it and write it, okay? I know you can do this. You're so smart. You're going to get this. All right. Good luck.